Hey guys, Mr. T here. Just giving an option for people if the expected written delivery of the statistics DI is too difficult. I can actually accept multimodal submissions. What does that mean? That means you can complete the assignment in any form. Slide presentation, audio recording, video recording, etc. You can come up with whatever you want, okay? But there's some requirements that cannot change because you have to do a statistical investigation, okay? You can't get away with not actually meeting the requirements of the task, but you can do it in different forms if that helps you complete the task. So the requirements that cannot change are: you need to collect data from your classmates. This data needs to be put in the data collection sheet in your shared document on Google Drive. So I can't show names, obviously, so this is just the document that I copied and gave everyone a copy on Google Drive. So you need to make sure that you put your data on this page here, in the data collection and calculation scaffold. So you collect data from your classmates, you put in your hypothesis, the variable, the data to be collected, the two different conditions, and then the data you collected from each person. Second non-negotiable, you need to calculate the statistics, the measures of center and spread using Excel spreadsheet and paste them into your shared document on Google Drive. A video showing this is linked on your task sheet. So that video is this one here, statistics on Excel. So you go to your shared document, and in this task sheet, you open this video here, and I show you exactly how to collect, get your collected data, find statistics using Excel, which you get for free using EdPass. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, you need to draw the histograms and box plots for your data using online graph generators. The graph generators are linked on DayMap, and a video showing you how to do the graphs using the generators is linked on your task sheet, and that is this link here, drawing graphs. I show you exactly how to draw the graphs using the generators that are linked on DayMap. Okay, 3 non-negotiables there. If you are doing your assignment in any other format than the written investigation, you need to respond to my questions in all of the sections below. I need an answer, okay? I need an answer to the questions that the kids that are doing the normal version are going to write, but you're going to deliver it in an audio method or a presentation, whatever fits with your requirements, okay? So some examples of ways you can respond are a PowerPoint presentation answering my questions below, an audio recording of you answering my questions below, or a video recording of you answering my questions below. Those are just some examples. Anything else, just ask me for confirmation. What you don't need to ask me for confirmation is whether you need to answer these questions. This is the meat and potatoes. I only get evidence that you know how to do the Year 10 statistics if you can answer these questions. Does that make sense? So, introduction section. You need to tell me, what was the hypothesis you decided to test by collecting data from classmates? As long as you respond to that, you get your marks. Number 2, why do you think this hypothesis might be true? And number 3 for the introduction section, what statistics did you find in the data to see if your hypothesis was true? That's the intro section. Number 2, the methods section. To address this, you need to answer in your multimodal form, how did you actually go about collecting data from your classmates? What questions did you ask them? What tests did you run with them? And lastly, what data or information did you collect from each person? Tell me that. In whatever format you like, but you need to respond to all those 4. Calculation section. This is in blue because one of the non-negotiables is that you're already going to do it on an Excel spreadsheet to find your statistics, as shown in the video, statistics on Excel here. Okay? Once you've watched that video and done what I've shown in that video on Excel, you're going to copy and paste the spreadsheet into your shared document on Google Drive. So all of you in the class have one of these. Scroll to the end, make a new page, and go copy and paste your spreadsheet into there. So I have evidence that you've done statistics to find the mean, median, mode, measures of center, measures of spread on Excel. The graph section, that's in blue because one of the non-negotiables was you need to use the online graph generators to draw your graphs. So that video is linked here. Drawing graphs. Go onto the task sheet, open that video, watch me apply the steps on that video to draw graphs from my data. Do the same for your data. Once you've done that, copy and paste the graphs you make into your shared document on Google Drive. So scroll to the bottom. After your spreadsheets, copy and paste your graphs into here. Now back to actually responding in your audio visual method, whatever you want. Number 5, the analysis section. You need to respond to these 3. What do your measures of center tell you in the context of the hypothesis? Is your hypothesis confirmed or denied by the results from the 2 different groups of people you collected data from? If that's a bit complex, okay, you just tell me, what do your measures of center tell you about the question that you asked at the start of your assignment? Second bit, what do your measures of spread tell you in the context of the hypothesis? Is your hypothesis further confirmed or further denied by what the measures of spread say about the consistency of the groups you collected data from? If that's a bit complex, then I'll say it in an easier way. What do your measures of spread tell you about the consistency of your 2 groups? And does that further answer your question, or does it sort of go against your question? Lastly, in the analysis section, what do your graphs tell you about the skewness of the data from the 2 different groups you collected data from? So that's only going to be one of 3 things: symmetrical, positively skewed, or negatively skewed. If you need to go back to the lessons about skewness, hit up the YouTube, okay? Lastly, the discussion section, part 6. This will be the end of your responses that you need for your assessment in a different format. What assumptions did you make? What assumptions did you have to make while doing the investigation to allow you to carry it out at this level of maths? How would those assumptions have affected the reliability of your results? So an example of this, because this is quite tricky, you may never have had to do this for an assignment before, which is a shame because you're supposed to. But an example of this is assuming that your subjects were honest when they answered your questions and tried their best when you're completing your test. You had to assume that. Okay, that you're getting data from these people in your class, and you have to assume that they were being truthful when they answered your questions. Okay, otherwise you would not get data. Now, after that, you need to think about, well, if they weren't being honest and they weren't trying their best, how would that affect the reliability of the results? Talk about that. And lastly, what limitations were there that stopped you doing your investigation perfectly at this level? Obviously, you don't have money to carry this out. You're just doing it sort of as best as you can in the classroom. Would those limitations have affected the reliability of your results? Tell me about it. So an example of this was you had to do the tests in a busy and noisy classroom while other people were carrying out tests. Think about that. Would that affect your results? If a person had been doing like 10 tests already, they're probably not going to put as much effort into the test that you are asking them to do because you're late in asking them. Okay? So once again, this is to support you doing the statistics DI in an auditory or verbal delivery if you want to do that. You don't want to do it in a written format. I will take any format you want, but you need to collect the data and put it on here. You need to use Excel spreadsheets to find the statistics as shown in the video here. You need to use online graph generators to generate graphs for your data as shown in the video here, drawing graphs. And then you need to answer these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You need to answer these 12 questions for me in whatever format that you would like. Okay? So hopefully that assists you in submitting something in a more appropriate format. And see you in the next video.